What an embarrassment. What must the rest of the world think about America? I don't know about you guys, but I am tired of some of these Olympic athletes who represent America when the reality is they only represent a small portion of the population, a minuscule portion. I thought this problem would go away after the inspiration of prepubescent boys thankfully retired, Meg Rapinoe. I thought this problem would go away now that Glenn Berry or Gwen Berry, whatever her name is, I thought the problem would go away now that Gwen Berry did not qualify to finish last place. I thought the problem would go away when the disrespect and the kneeling for the national anthem subsided. And to be honest with you, the disrespect of America at the Olympics, it has been toned down this year, maybe even non-existent. But the so-called representation of America, the representation needs work. And look, the vast majority of Olympic athletes, they represent the country well. The vast majority of Olympic athletes, they make us proud. Team USA in basketball. Well, Casey, are you talking about the dump divers in the WNBA? I said basketball. I did not say pretend basketball. To their credit, though, the ladies, they have represented us well too. Simone Biles might be a delusional supporter of cackling Cam Harris or the rap pseudonym that she prefers to be called when speaking in Detroit, Lil Debbie, Lil Debbie. Simone Biles might support Cammy, or she might be paid to support Cammy, but if you remove the politics from the equation, Simone Biles, she has represented America well. Unfortunately, though, the positive representation, it tends to get overlooked by the bullshit. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. As always, I appreciate your support. You guys have been absolutely amazing this summer. We are on pace for another great month here in August. I appreciate you guys showing up for me every day. Now, how many of you guys have ever heard of Raven Saunders? Some of my longtime subscribers, you guys might remember the Ravenous Raven. We covered Raven extensively on the channel during the Tokyo Olympics 3 years ago. But just in case you have forgotten, let me give you a little refresher. Raven Saunders received mainstream media recognition and praise 3 years ago for using the Olympic platform to combat mythical racism. Raven is a track and field athlete who specializes in throwing the heavy ball. Well, Casey, does Raven compete against males or females? That's an excellent question, and I can understand why you would ask. If I showed you a picture of Simone Biles, there would be no question as to which gender she is choosing to compete against. As you guys know, the Olympics, they are now allowing athletes to choose which gender they want to compete with. Me personally, I have been thinking about training for the next 3 years, changing my name to Chloe, and competing against women for the gold medal in boxing. And I think I would have a pretty good chance at winning unless I got matched up with Amin Khalif. But to answer your question, Raven Saunders, she competes against women. Believe it or not, it is 100% legitimate since Raven Saunders was born female. Now, of course, you are not allowed to refer to Raven as a female. Raven has made it known that the appropriate pronouns are they, them, or Hulk. That last one is kind of confusing. Hell, it's all confusing, but I've never met a Hulk that prefers to be called they. The Incredible Hulk, he, him. Hulk Hogan, real American. Lou Ferrigno, he, him. Hulk Saunders, they, them. We'll get more into the pronouns and the confusion they have caused here in just a second. Yesterday, though, Hulk Saunders, she was competing on international television at the Olympics. For the viewing pleasure of those watching at home, Hulk, put on a mask. Raven also entertained the viewers at home with a celebratory dance. I guess the heavy balls rolled a long distance, or the sound system started playing Whistle While You Twerk by the Yin Yang Twins, because this is how Raven Saunders chose to celebrate. If you were sitting front row at Club Shay Shay, I think most of us would agree that this celebration would be appropriate. If Jackie Mahomes threw a touchdown against the Buffalo Ballerinas and the Dancing Queen wanted to celebrate in the end zone, this celebration would be appropriate. But representing America on a global stage at the Olympics? Well, Casey, you're just saying this because of who did it. You're a non-binary phobe. You're afraid of Raven Saunders because they are non-binary. If they are non-binary, then why are they competing against women? Shouldn't they be competing against other theys? If the field of theys are too strong, couldn't them compete against them? If Simone Biles did this, I would say the exact same thing. If Zion Williamson did this, my hometown dude, if Zion did this at the Olympics, I would say the exact same thing. This is not a backyard barbecue. This isn't men pretending to be ladies' night at Club Shay Shay. This is the Olympics, something that used to be one of the most prestigious athletic competitions in the world. Now, I don't know if the Olympics are considered prestigious anymore, but they damn sure used to be. At the Olympics, Raven Saunders is not just representing Raven Saunders. Raven Saunders is representing all of us. Did that represent you? Did that twerking represent your values or the values of the country? Look, I get that Raven Saunders was just trying to have fun, but could you not find a more appropriate way to have fun at the Olympics? The BBC, they had the misfortune of calling this event yesterday. The reason I say misfortune is because you got to be extremely careful when talking about Hulk Saunders. Since Raven Saunders was born female and is competing against women at the Olympics, you're going to instinctively use improper pronouns. In the case of Raven Saunders, improper pronouns would be she, her. The use of she, her pronouns in this instance, no bueno. It is a direct violation of the third woke commandment. Thou shalt not misgender. Headline at Variety. BBC commentator corrects colleague who misgendered Raven Saunders live on the air. It was so painful. The BBC commentator who was charged with misgendering Raven Saunders is Steve Backley. Steve was just as confused as the rest of us while watching this display of amazing athleticism yesterday. I don't know about you guys, but I am always impressed while watching someone throw a ball into an unoccupied area. Steve Backley, he was describing the scene to viewers at home when he committed the unforgivable sin of using the pronoun her. Now, I blacked out the visual for copyright reasons, but listen for yourself.
Raven Saunders back. Good to see her back, sort of. Sort of see her, I mean.
Well, we can't see them very well. Raven Saunders actually non-binary.
This is why I could never work in the mainstream media. Every once in a while, I'll have someone tell me, "You're really talented. You should be working at Fox News or ESPN." I have absolutely no desire to work in the media, mainly because I don't work well with others. I don't respond well when someone else is telling me what to do, what time I have to wake up, what time I'm allowed to leave work. The only structure I thrive in is my own. But that clip I just shared with you, that is another reason I would not want to work in the mainstream media. If one of my colleagues corrected me because I refer to a woman using she, her pronouns, I would probably get fired. On her own Instagram account, Raven Saunders refers to herself as a woman. Hulk is literally competing against women, so what did Steve Backley do wrong here? You know, if they're not careful, the networks, they're going to have a hard time finding men willing to call women sporting events. This is not the first time this year that a dude has found himself at the center of controversy calling women's sports at the Olympics. A couple of weeks ago, something called Eurosports, they fired commentator Bob Ballard. Now, fortunately for Bobby, he was not guilty of the crime of misgendering. Some would say Bob's crime was far worse. He was calling the exciting action of the Australian relay team. Ooh, fascinating. I don't even know what the hell a relay team is, and I didn't care enough to look it up. Whatever the hell it is, the Australian women, they won the relay. As they were presenting the medals, I guess there was a little bit of a delay. During the delay, Bobby Ballard said, well, the women are just finishing. You know what the women are like, hanging around doing their makeup. I guess he was referencing the fact that the Australian women wanted to apply their makeup before appearing on international television. I don't know because I didn't waste my time watching it. But Bob's colleague that day, it was a former Olympian named Lizzie Simmons. The Liz was highly offended by this monstrosity of misogyny. She said, "That is outrageous, Bobby! Some of the men are doing that as well!" Are we back in the 1980s when rock bands were the faces of Maybelline? I thought Dylan Mulvaney was the face of Maybelline. Now, imagine my surprise. Just imagine my surprise when I found out that Warner Brothers Discovery owns Eurosports, the same Warner Brothers Discovery that removed Bob Ballard from calling the Olympics, the same Warner Brothers Discovery that lost the NBA to Amazon, the same Warner Brothers Discovery that owns the dump of dumps, CNN. This company lost over $9 billion last quarter, and they are worried about some dude saying that women like makeup? No wonder their stock price is in the pooper. No wonder their stock price has declined 70% in the last 2 years. No wonder the CNN Titanic is rapidly sinking. Warner Brothers, they're not focused on all that. They are focused on trying not to offend anyone. Give me your thoughts on this. Raven Saunders, representative of America. Am I a bitter asshole? Am I getting older? Or is twerking not appropriate for the Olympics? Why does it always have to be us? Why does it always seem like America is always embarrassed on a global stage? You tell me. Sound off in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share the video. Appreciate your support. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.